Arshia Kia, thank you very much for joining us today. And by the way, congratulations and welcome to EXP. For those not yet familiar with you, before we jump in, would you mind just sharing a little bit about your journey to get to real estate and then your journey thus far in real estate?
Thanks for doing this interview with me. I appreciate all the efforts that's been done so far in EXP for me and my team. Well, the journey started actually in 2016 when I got out of my government job, federal government job, and was discovering what to do basically, either working the basis of my other company, which is entertainment and event planning business. And that didn't go as well as I anticipated. Now got into commercial. My wife's family, they're all into real estate. They say, you'll be good for residential. I did not really click with commercial real estate at the time. So I got my license by the end of 2016. I mean, passed the exam and everything. So beginning of 2017, I started this journey at a local brokerage. And then I saw the opportunity to grow, change the brokerage, and now I'm here. Throughout the past 8 years and some change, I learned how to help and throw into others' lives by learning first, absorbing, and then providing. Either it's a client or an agent of a team, part of a team, or my coaching clients, that it doesn't stop there. It's always about pouring into people's lives. So any and every stage they are.
Awesome. Well, and you've had a great deal of success. And you and I were talking about this. You credited a lot of your success to how you approach your sphere of influence. And in particular, you talked about your client parties, and that's why I wanted to make sure that we did this interview so that others could learn from you. I'm curious, when you think about your sphere of influence, for a lot of agents, they wait a long time to work their sphere, right? A lot of them are afraid, ashamed, pick your word, to go to people that they know. And they'd actually rather go to strangers for whatever reason to try to get business from them. When you think about your sphere of influence, did you start working that early on? Or is that something that developed later? How did you approach that?
I think this was in my personality from day one when I was born. My mom always telling me that at the beginning, when we were like getting a taxi or trying to move around, I was always the outreach one. I was always saying hi to the taxi driver or to the stranger. So I was always going out to learn more about the person on the other side. Somehow the need of connecting or networking or bringing people together, it's been in me. But there has always been a fear of rejection, right? So what if I say hi and I don't hear that? What if I say, how are you? And I hear nothing? What if I get bullied and all? So this is natural with me, and I think with everyone. What comes interesting is at every stage of my life, elementary school, middle school, high school, college, moving from a country to another. I'm an immigrant, came to the United States in 2001 when I was 20 years old. At every stage, I was always thriving to grow my network, people that I know. It was not that I used my connection to step up in life. I've never thought of that way. It was always, I want to know you, Brian, because of who you are and see how I can put into your life. Not that you need it, but if you need it, when you need it, how I can be there for you. And this is throughout my friendship and all relationships, right? My friendship and relationship goes back all the way back to, I still talk with some of my friends that we met in elementary school, middle school, high school, right? We have a group, we still talk. And a number of them is a lot. So basically, when you come to my circle, you stay there. And that's where it comes. I have a huge sphere of influence. And that does not only... it's not only for the local people. It's everywhere I go, I connect with people, I make friends, and I would love to be in touch with them. And I keep the relationship somehow, it's either social media or text message relationship or travel relationship or seeing. Even it takes time sometimes that I see a friend or a person that I know after so many years, we'll pick it up where we left. And this is who I am. So at every level I've been, except my government job, this sort of behavior was rewarding always. It gave me fuel to thrive. It gave me a reason to grow. And if I'm at an environment that I cannot communicate, I cannot connect with people, I don't do much. So I always love, basically people say, when people see me who know me and say, you were made for real estate. One of the reasons is we gotta connect. Yes, we're connector. We're networker. We are the reason that people are around us. And if you don't go out and connect and talk right? Real estate is a contact sport, right? So we got to contact. We have to be in conversation. We have to talk and provide. And if we are afraid of that, we're not going to be successful. That much I can tell you.
When you think about that kind of approach, and you're very much in line with a lot of the agents we've been talking to who are kind of sphere of influence focused people, very warm relationships. A lot of them talk about how their clients become their friends over time. The big question around that is, at a small level, that's easy enough to do. When you grow your business to the size of yours, it takes a little bit more thought about how to be purposeful and systematic about that. How do you be purposeful and systematic about approaching your sphere with that kind of warm energy and relationship building strategy?
That is not easy. So technology, I remember again, right in 2001, I bought my second phone was a pocket PC. At the time, it was a new gadget, right? People were making fun of me. The reason I got a pocket PC was so I could save people's birthday, address, and email, and all of that while everybody had a flip phone, right? Or barely flip phone, like all these old Nokia phones. And that continued with me. Like I was like using the group message to send, to promote for the events that I was hosting. I was, the birthday will like popping up and say, today is like, this person's birthday. I was sending a text message, hey, happy birthday. I did not have any business that I wanted people to respond to me. It was just for the love of, being there and making people happy. And technology helped a lot for me to basically, that's number one, how I keep in touch with technology with my folks and peeps. Email, text message, phone. I remember at the time when I got again my first plan, there were like so many phone companies around, AT&T, Verizon, all of them. But they did not have the plan that could satisfy my talking. The best one I could find was Voice Stream, which is currently T-Mobile. They had 3,000 minutes per month, including free nights and weekends. I was like running out of my minutes in like first 2 weeks, barely, right? Because I was like getting in touch with people. Unfortunately, that time I was not in real estate. Had I been real estate at that time, things would have been a lot different. I was selling furniture and basically area rugs, and I still made a good living out of it. Now, technology can also get you out of sync, out of focus, out of proportion. Later on, social media came in, right? So social media is a double-edged sword. You can go in it and get synced, or you can use it to communicate with people. So it's like another level of connecting with people, because I have a database of 12,000 people. Out of those 12,000 people, literally, I know about 4,000 of them. I can recognize them. And most of them, they know me. How can I be in touch with all these people, right? There's no way you can be in touch with one-on-one more than 300-400 people a year, right? And I love all of them. I love people. And the only way to get in touch with them is doing events. And that's where my talent comes into play, with the help of technology and everything that I've been doing and everything that's adding every day, how to bring people in one place multiple times throughout the year to be in touch with them. Basically, I thrive to see people. I thrive to talk to people. I thrive to shake hand, give a hug, and connect people to help them. If they need anything, I'm here to connect you and help you to find a way to success, to greatness.
It's interesting you say that, especially about social media. A lot of because of the Lead Mastery series that we've been working on, we've been interviewing not just sphere of influence agents like yourself, but Instagram agents, Facebook agents, so on and so forth. And they all say the same thing, that they view social media as sort of an extension of their database. And what's really interesting about it too, is they also say another thing, all of them. And that is, by using social media, even complete strangers, when they show up to a listing appointment or a buyer consultation, it's kind of that celebrity effect. There's actually a word for it that I can't even remember right now. But like when you see a celebrity out on the street, somebody from your favorite TV show or favorite movie, you kind of feel like you know them a little bit, like you already have a relationship because you've seen them, you've heard them, and that's what these social media agents have said, is it's not a one-to-one substitute for a face-to-face, pop by or client event, but it's the next best thing, especially when we talk about a mass amount of people. But I was really excited to talk to you because of your events background about the events that you do for your sphere of influence, your clients, and things like that. So starting at kind of a 30,000 foot level, in an average year, how many events are you doing? Are they the same events each year? Same time, same themes, that kind of thing? Or do you vary it up? What's that look like for you?
After COVID, we have done 2 large events per year and smaller events. So we connect with consumers too, first time home buyer seminar and webinars and investor seminars and charity events, as far as helping people with code drive, blood drive, and that sort of events that we do once or twice a year. But at a huge level, from 6-7 events prior to COVID, we're down to 2 large events, and that is basically celebration of special events, right? So celebration of spring, New Year's Eve, those sort of categories of events that people like to get out, and we use that to basically bring them together.
Awesome. So I'm curious, when you say large events, give me a sense of size that we're talking about here. How many people would show up to one of those kinds of large events?
Events is kind of like real estate transaction, right? Whether you work at a $1 million transaction, buy or sell, or $100,000 transaction, buy or sell, you kind of do the same process in order to get there, right? The same applies to events. If you do a 300-person event or a 3,000 person event, you kind of do the same thing. However, I was doing a lot of events back in the day, smaller events. All of a sudden, there was an opportunity that helped me to get to a 10,000 person event, and that is like a cultural event here that bring people together to celebrate spring. Originally Iranian, we do have a lot of celebration. And one of them is celebrating spring. So right at the first Sunday of spring, a lot of times it collides with Easter. We do have this event that we have to basically navigate through that. We bring entertainers from all around the country. We bring all sort of food vendors and also advertising, people who large companies and small companies, the small businesses. We all get together to celebrate this beautiful day outdoor, where we get the capacity is 10,000 people. I wish if I had a larger place to go. We have filled that place up many, many times in the past. There also have been days that we couldn't due to the weather condition here in Washington, D.C. area. It's you know what I'm talking about. It's not predictable how things happen. But a lot of times, and I decided to do less small events and focus on large events. However, it draws a lot of energy and resources, but the reward is much higher. Again, we use the same system and the same tools, kind of a same stage to reach out to 10,000 people. And in order to bring 10,000 people, it's like the lead gen model. You need to reach out to 100,000 people in order to bring 10,000 people.
Yeah. So starting there, either the spring event or your New Year's event, how are you getting that database? Is this just something you've accumulated over time? Did you go purchase lists? How did you end up with a database that large that you could invite that many people to an event?
Well, started from the very beginning, the very first day that every person I was actually meeting, hey, what's your name? What's your number? What's your email? When's your birthday? So I started this database day one that I came to the United States, because I did not know anybody, right? I needed to survive in this country. And that's one of the ways you survive is by knowing people. And that just became a habit of collecting people's information. And at every event, when people had to register to come in, so all the information will stay in the database, right? And then as time goes on, you add to these people. Imagine, so I was wondering, at the very first event that I had 1,000 people, I looked at the number of tickets or number of contacts that I collected. It's about 20%. I mean, 20. Yeah. So for 1,000 people attendee, we get 200 to 250 registrations, right? So it's family of 3, 4, 5, whatever, or sometimes people get together and one of them buy the ticket. On average is 1 to 4. So at the 10,000, I have 2,500 registration, right? And that is it keep adding up to a lot of these people are repeat. A lot of this information is repeat. However, at every event, we ask for the information of, how you heard about us. What did you think about the event? Have you attended the past events? And what your expectations are, including and first name, last name, email, phone number, and address, where we can communicate with you. And most people provide all of that. Some of them is a must, some of them is an optional. And that's how I update my database. And every time they come to more than one meetings, one events, they also get tagged as like, they showed up to multiple events, and basically they're counted as fan.
Awesome. All right. So it sounds like you're doing multiple touches leading up to the event, which is great. A lot of folks who've never done events don't understand that it's not the people who show up to the event. It's everybody you talk to before and after about the event that's your real opportunity. That said, though, at the event, are you doing anything to solicit business? Do you have like a booth in the back, the Kia real estate team, or are you handing out chair drop flyers or anything like that? Do you get up and do a speech or anything like that?
At my events, not directly about my real estate business, because they see my flyers, they have seen my logo on all the communications going out indirectly. And when they come in, at the events, they see me as the entertainer. Well, I'm also I started this business in 2004 as a DJ. So again, the same way I explained how I became a real estate agent, I became a DJ too, because at the party, the DJ that we had, he couldn't play. So I jumped up, and I was into music at the time. So I saw I play music, and it was good. And I got my first offer out of that first gig that I had. And then I got into entertainment business. So I'm a DJ, and then some of my events I DJ too. Not a lot, but more than anything else, I do MC at my events. I run the events as far as like an entertainer. So I entertain people. I get them on the dance floor. I get them to basically get involved, right? So when they come in, they see me as an entertainer, right? However, while they're coming in, they have seen enough of me and my team presence as like real estate. So they know I do this event thing for the love of it. I always do everything for the love of it, but like they know I don't need to do this. I do this to bring people together.
It makes all the sense in the world. It's funny, a lot of real estate agents become almost sort of quasi event planners as part of their practice. You were an event planner who became a real estate agent. It makes all the sense in the world, just a different order of things. For somebody who's never done a client event, as we're kind of drawing here to our close, they were probably hearing you and go, whoa, that's a lot. Advice on how to get started into doing events like we're talking about here?
I got my license in February 2017. My first client event was the following summer. I had about 50 people coming to my client appreciation event when I had 0 client who paid. And I'm looking at that picture, group picture that we had. Every person in that event became a client after. Okay, client appreciation, and I talk about this with my with agents and people that I coach. Client event is not about the person that you had a relationship. I mean, that you had the business, like that you sold them something. It's about people that you have a relationship with, right? And almost everybody in that event thought everybody else are my clients. They were not. They became a client in real estate. Client relationship is thanking and providing a good environment and networking and this connecting sort of platform to people who know you, okay? If you don't do that, you're losing big time. If you don't see people eye to eye, face to face, you connect people, you are losing. People are not sitting there to look at your social media and because of posts and because of that, they're going to come to you. No, people come to you because you ask them to come to you. Because people give you business because you ask them to give you business. People start a relationship with you because you ask for that. If you sit here and expect people to come to you, it never happens, right? We always want to go to people and build that relationship. And client relationship is the number one return on investment for me personally in the past, every single business that I've done. So I always invested in my relationship with people, and it always paid off because people came and asked, hey, I know you do this. Can you help me with that? I'm more than happy to. What else can I do for you? Right. And needless to say, the last time I spent a dime on my, for example, DJing business was before COVID. People reach out to me at least twice or 3 times a month and ask if I can DJ at their wedding or at their event. And most of the time I'm not available for the days, but if I'm available, I say yes, right? They still remember all the good time and memories. And I've done multi-generational events now. At the time, the same thing with real estate. right? They heard something a few years ago and they still remember and they still ask me and they refer me to their. I bought a home for a family back in 2017 and I'm buying a home for their son right now. All right. So two different generations, it is happening. And this is stuff that we always teach and talk about. And they're always invited to my events, even when they were not my clients at the time.
A lot of people think two negative thoughts when it comes to client events, right? Number one, nobody's going to show up, right? And to your point, because they think of it as a client event, not a sphere of influence event. And the second thing they think is, I don't know, I got to get up at that event and beg for referrals and beg for their repeat business. And when I talk to agents like yourself who are masters of these types of events, no, that's not what they're doing. If they mention real estate at all, it is very miniature in their greetings of folks and branding at the event and things like that. But it's really the opportunities leading up to and after the event are those opportunities to ask for repeat referral business and make sure they know that you're in real estate and ingratiate them to you via the event. But at the event, focus on building relationships. And it's so funny. I've always said, this is not a hard business. What we do for a living is make friends and help them with real estate. And just like you would with all your friends, my family and I, we throw parties all the time for our friends. And that's the goal. It's just to really make those connections. Arshia, thanks so much for doing this with us. We really appreciate it. For folks who have follow-up questions or want to learn more about some of the programs that you do, training and whatnot, how can people get in touch with you?
You can check my website, kiarealestate.com, and my email is arshia@kiarealestate.com. You can always send email. I definitely respond 100% to my emails. Want to text me or call me, 57127621206. That's been my cell phone numbers for the past 24 years, Brian. It never changed. And the same thing with my emails. I'm there. Send me a text. Give me a call. I'm happy to help you, how to give you a little bit of guidance, what to do, what not to do if that's needed.
Awesome. All right. Well, thank you. And again, welcome to the family.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.